What's good, YouTube? It's Zach, and today we got NFL Week 11 reactions. Hope everyone's having an amazing day so far. A lot of games that made me upset, so let's take a look at some of these game reactions. Starting things off on Thursday, we had the New England Patriots pretty handedly taking care of the New Jersey Jets. The Jets still not having a quarterback. Justin Fields is for 100% not the answer, but I think this just goes more to the fact that it's not just the quarterback. It's a whole organizational disaster class amongst all fronts. Fields cannot do anything behind this offensive line. Breece Hall should have been traded at the trade deadline. Of course, the Jets didn't move him because they are the New Jersey Jets. John Mechie ended up getting the only score of the game. I mean, Justin Fields had a rushing touchdown of his own. Maybe they should move him at running back. Then for the Patriots, Drake May did some Drake May things, going 25 of 34, 281 yards and a score. TreVeyon Henderson, I believe he busted out the hat trick, going 19 of 62 for 2 scores, and then had 5 catches for 31 and a score of his own. Stefon Diggs, leading receiver, going 9 for 105. Yes, the Patriots are in full control of their destiny, destroying the Bills so far in the AFC East, and I believe they're the #1 seed in the AFC right now. They're going to be battling the Colts for that #1 seed to get that bye. But yeah, Patriots are looking really good. The Jets obviously need to sell the team. Woody Johnson, the heck. Up next, we had an absolute snoozer in Madrid. We had the Miami Dolphins beating the Washington Commanders. I believe the Dolphins are on a 3-game winning streak now, moving up to 4-7. Still no shot at making the playoffs, but I'm happy for my guy getting their first 3-game win streak since TV was first in color. Tua did barely just enough to get the win here. Devon Achane, of course, being the heart and soul of that Dolphins offense, going 21 of 120. Ollie Gordon having the 1 touchdown for the Dolphins outside of field goals. And then for the Commanders, I mean, Marcus Mariota did about as good as you could expect, going 20 of 30 for 213 yards and a score. Had 1 really bad interception in this one. Chris Rodriguez was the leading rusher. They actually did the ball pretty well in this one, averaging 5.2 yards per pop. Deebo Samuel tried everything that he could, going 7 of 74 and a score of his own. The Commanders, I mean, if Jayden Daniels isn't there, you might as well just tank and get a really good draft pick. And the Dolphins, I mean, if you're going to try to make the playoffs, you're probably going to have to try to win out to go 10-7, but Dolphins are hanging on for 1 more week. Up next, we had the Chicago Bears getting a game-winning field goal against my Minnesota Vikings. The Bears and, I mean, both McCarthy and Caleb Williams both completed 16 of 32 of their passes. Neither of them wanted to complete a pass for the longer portion of this game, but the difference maker was Williams did not have a turnover. The Bears' run game is still proving to be a problem for the Vikings defense. DeAndre Swift, 21 carries for 90 yards. Kyle Monangai was bottled up in this one. Receiving was led by Cole Kmet. Shout out to Rome Odunze for sucking in fantasy football once again. And then Caleb Williams did have a fumble, but Rome was able to recover it. Okay, I thought he did fumble it once in this game. Like I said, J.J. McCarthy turned the ball over a couple times. They could not really establish the passing game. I mean, 150 yards is not going to be able to do anything for you. And then, I mean, yeah, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, they averaged 5.2 yards per pop. Jordan Mason getting one of the scores and the other one going to Jordan Addison. I believe this touchdown got them in the lead. Justin Jefferson, I mean, he's probably crashing out on social media as we speak. And, I mean, the Vikings, as long as J.J. McCarthy looks good, it's a winning season in my books. But he's not looking good right now. We might need to go quarterback again, maybe not next year, but the year after. There's so many other holes on this Vikings team that needs to be worried about. But the Bears are actually in first in the NFC North since the Lions did lose on Sunday Night Football. Once we get down to that reaction. But yeah, Bears, bear down. Up next, we had Bryce Young's career game where the Panthers complete the sweep over the Atlanta Falcons of a score of 30-27 in overtime. Yeah, Bryce Young, like I said, 31 of 45, 448 yards and 3 scores. I think this is a perfect passer rating at 123. He did get sacked 5 times. It's kind of diabolical. The running game was pretty bottled up. That's why Bryce Young had to literally do everything. Rico Dowdle going 19 for 45. Chuba Hubbard still proving that he sucks at football. And then the receiving game, Tyrone McMillan might be making Offensive Rookie of the Year talks, going 8 catches, 130 yards, and 2 scores. Xavier Legette chipping in 83 yards and a score of his own. The Falcons, Michael Penix got hurt in this game, and all Falcons fans were hurt when they saw Kirk Cousins back on the field going 6 of 14 for 48 yards. Bijan Robinson tried everything, and I mean everything, to keep them in this game, going 23 of 104 and 2 scores, adding 39 yards to the air. Drake London, I mean, I feel like Michael Penix Jr. only throws to Drake London. It's kind of diabolical. Kyle Pitts is probably crashing out on social media. And yeah, this loss just proves that the Falcons are not going to be making the playoffs this year. I gave them the benefit of the doubt to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive, but I think they're effectively eliminated in my eyes. Not mathematically yet, but in my eyes. And the Panthers are back to over 500, and who knows, maybe the Panthers are going to try to get that 7 seed in the NFC wildcard race. Up next, we had Josh Allen literally single-handedly destroyed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As you can see, Josh Allen, 19 of 30 for 317 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. He did throw 2 really bad interceptions in this game, but he also was basically the Bills' leading rusher, going 6 carries for 40 yards and 3 scores. That's right, Josh Allen had a net total of 6 total touchdowns. Absolutely insane receiving. It was pretty consistent throughout the whole team here. As you can see, Tyrell Shavers going 4 catches, 90 yards, and a score. James Cook had 66 yards in total with a score, and then Ty Johnson getting another score. Wow, there's 2 running backs up here over 60 yards. I forgot, Gabe Davis is back on the Bills. Dude, shout out to Gabe Davis, I guess. And the Buccaneers, I mean, you put up 32 points. You feel like that should have been enough to beat a Bills team where they just lost to someone. The Dolphins, right? Baker Mayfield, 16 of 28, a score and a pick. Sean Tucker, shout out to Sean Tucker, who just destroyed Rachaad White's fantasy football day. Going 19 carries, 106 yards, and 2 scores. Emeka Egbuka bottled up in this one, and then Sean Tucker had one through the air. So, wow, he pulled out the hat trick, and it still wasn't enough. But both teams are going to be in the playoffs. I mean, the Buccaneers kind of by default, but who knows? The Panthers are right behind them now in the division, and the Bills are just trying to somehow catch the Patriots, which is looking more and more unlikely by the day. Up next, you had the weekly loss of the Titans. You had the Texans going out there getting the win 16-13. Davis Mills is actually performing pretty well right now in C.J. Stroud's absent, going 26 of 41 for 274 and a score. The running game was bottled up. Woody Marks going 18 for 44. Nick Chubb only getting 3 carries in this one. And then Nico Collins 9 for 92 and a score. And, I mean, everyone else was kind of just out there just existing, I guess. And then Cam Ward had one of his better days against the Texans. I wasn't expecting this level of performance because, yeah, the Texans have a really good defense. He did get sacked 3 times, 24, 37, 194, and a score. Tony Pollard, I mean, this guy is absolutely washed. I mean, it's just because he's behind a Titans offensive line that can't block. Cam Ward was their leading rusher, only on 3 carries. That's kind of tough scenes. And then Chig Okonkwo had a really big 39-yard catch, and that was literally it. Titans are just trying to lock down that #1 pick to hopefully pair Cam Ward with a really good receiver, or maybe they go O-line first overall. That'd be kind of insane. And then the Texans, I mean, if they're trying to make the playoffs, they're going to have to probably win out and get some help from the Colts. They're probably going to have to go for a wild card spot, but the AFC is really loaded right now. Texans, way to get the win. Up next, you had the Green Bay Packers scoring 27 points as per usual to get their win over the New Jersey Giants. I mean, this Packers team got really banged up in this one. I know Jordan Love missed a couple of series, going 13 of 24, 174 yards and 2 scores. Malik Willis came in and got a touchdown in his one drive. Shout out to him. I know Josh Jacobs left the game with a knee injury of sorts, but Emmanuel Wilson was able to punch in a touchdown of his own. And then Christian Watson going 4 for 46 and 2 scores. Romeo Doubs, I believe, had 2 really bad drops in this game. And then the Giants, Jameis Winston, this is a lot better than Russell Wilson would have done, so shout out to Jameis Winston. The last interception was trying to get the touchdown to tie the game to force overtime. Tyrone Tracy going 19 of 88 for 0 touchdowns. Devin Singletary, I played him in fantasy, of course, going 16 of 44 and 2 touchdowns of his own. But Packers got the win. They still remain, I believe, in 3rd place, or unless they're ahead of the the Lions now. I think the Lions are 6 and 4, so I'm not sure how that math works out. But, yeah, Packers get the win, and the Giants are just trying to get to the end of the season. Up next, we had the Unction Part 2. The Steelers going out there, destroying the Bengals 34-12. Joe Flacco, I mean, his age is finally starting to show right here, going 23 of 41, 99, a score and an interception. Chase Brown ruining some parlays, going 18 carries for 99 yards, and then receiving was led by T. Higgins, going 3 for 63 and a score. Jamar Chase could not get any traction in this one, had 10 targets, only being able to bring in 3 of them. And then Aaron Rodgers did go down in this game, but Mason Rudolph was able to steer the ship, going 12 of 16 for a score of his own. Rushing, led by Jalen Warren, 10 carries for 62 yards. But shout out to Kenneth Gainwell on my bench in fantasy football, going to 7 for 81 and 2 touchdowns on my bench. I absolutely just love to see it. Steelers getting a much-needed win as they remain the top of the AFC North right now. But with the Ravens pounding on the door and the Bengals, I think it's at this point just rest Joe Burrow, bring him back next year. Your season is officially over. Up next, we had the weekly ass kicking where the Jacksonville Jaguars absolutely mollywopped Los Angeles Chargers of 35-6. That wasn't even English, but I don't even really care. Trevor Lawrence going 14 of 22 for 153 yards, a score, and an interception. He had Tootin and Travis Etienne basically carry this team to relevance. I mean, Etienne had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Tootin, I think, had 2 in total. I thought he had 1 through the air. Maybe not, but really good day no matter what. The Chargers, I mean, they couldn't get anything going. The offensive line finally showed against a pretty good pass rush in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Justin Herbert got benched in this one because, did you not look at the score? And then, yeah, Trey Lance in limited action sucked because he's, Trey Lance. Herbert was the leading rusher with 21 yards. They couldn't get anything going. Keenan Allen, 4 catches, 53 yards. Quentin Johnson putting up another donut. Thank you for being on my bench in fantasy because that's absolutely insane. It would have resulted in a broken monitor if, started you. And then, the defense, not really a whole lot going on here. 3 sacks on the day for the Jaguars defense. You love to see it, and they got a much-needed win. The Chargers are going to try to blow this one off, and with the Broncos pulling away in the AFC West, they might be looking more towards the wild card. I saw this game coming from a mile away. We had the Los Angeles Rams take down the Seattle Seahawks. Matthew Stafford not quite having a great performance in this one, because he's used to throwing 4 touchdowns, but had a pretty serviceable 15 of 28 for 2 touchdowns. Shout out Kyren Williams going 12 carries, 91 yards, and a score. And then receiving was led by, of course, Puka Nacua, 7 catches, 75 yards. Devontae Adams only catch on the day on 8 targets, a 1-yard receiving touchdown. That's kind of insane. And then for the Seahawks, Sam Darnold, this is what he does in big games, man. This is kind of like a playoff game. 29 of 44, 279, and 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions. Thank you for the Vikings not giving him that contract extension. He's good in regular season games against average to below average teams, but once he gets into that deeper season, he starts playing really bad football. Kenneth Walker finally got in the end zone. You love to see that for fantasy football people. And then Jackson Smith-Njigba, of course, being Jackson Smith-Njigba, 9 catches, 105 yards. But, Rams got a much-needed division win. And even with 4 interceptions, the Seahawks still almost won this game. So it's something to look forward to in the future. But Rams got the win. Up next, we had the other AFC West matchup where the 49ers destroyed the Arizona Cardinals. Everyone saw this coming. The Cardinals are a really bad football team. Brock Purdy's return going 19 of 26 for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, a 133 passer rating. Love to see that. Christian McCaffrey going 13 for 81 and 2 touchdowns. Had 1 through the air as well, pulling out the hat trick. Well, welcome back to George Kittle going 6 of 67 for 2 touchdowns. Thank goodness this wasn't 1 yard less. There'd be a lot of 6s on the board. And then for the Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett, 47 of 57. He threw the ball 57 times for 452 garbage yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rushing, there was no rushing. Look at this, 14 of 36 for 2.6 yards a carry. Absolutely diabolical. What are you doing? Shout out Michael Wilson, 15 for 185. I thought about picking him up on the waiver wire. I probably should have, and I didn't, so F my life. And then Trey McBride, 10 for 115 and a score. Oh, there's Greg Dortch with that scary number I was saying with George Kittle earlier. 6 for 66 and a touchdown on 6 targets. Oh, gosh, he needs to go pray right now. But 49ers are keeping up pace with the Rams. The Cardinals, your season's already over. It might be time to sell the team. Up next, we had Shedeur Sanders making his debut, not as a starter, but as a backup because Dylan Gabriel got hurt in this one. But the Ravens were still able to win 23-16 in a very, very, very sloppy game. Lamar Jackson did not bring his best. 14 of 25, 193 yards, and 2 interceptions. Got sacked 5 times. I think 4 of them were by Myles Garrett. Derrick Henry led the way, going over the century mark, 18 for 103 and a score. Mark Andrews, so the thing with this one carry for 35 yards and a touchdown, it was 4th and 1. They did fake push end around for Mark Andrews. Absolutely insane play call that led to the touchdown. And then the Browns, shout out to Zay Flowers, 3 for 78, but, it's not about you. It's about Shedeur Sanders. 4 of 16, 47 yards, 1 interception. It should have been 2. And then rushing was led by Judkins, 17 of 59. Not really a whole lot going on there. And then receiving, what do you expect when you have these 2 morons throwing the football? Cedric Tillman, 3 for 52. I think, Jerry Jeudy only had 3 catches in this one as well. Browns, they had 5 quarterbacks at the beginning of the season, and they still need a quarterback as of this second. And the Ravens, they were just trying to get the win, and that's what they did. They didn't have to do too much because they were playing the Cleveland Browns. Up next, we had a game that I did not see coming. We had the Broncos holding on and beating the Kansas City Chiefs with a score of 22-19. Bo Nix did his best game-managing impression, going 24 of 37, 295 yards. No touchdowns, but no interceptions. That's the key thing when you're playing the Chiefs. You cannot make mistakes. R.J. Harvey led the non-existent run game, 11 for 30. Jaleel McLaughlin got a rushing touchdown. And then receiving, led by Troy Franklin, 4 catches for 84 yards, and Cortland Sutton going 4 of 59 on 8 targets, no touchdowns through the air. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 29 of 45, 276, scored a pick. There was no run game. Look at only Kareem Hunt was getting carries. Not sure why. Isaiah Pacheco must have been hurt. And then Hunt got a touchdown as well. Travis Kelce had a really nice receiving touchdown of his own. And then, Rashee Rice was not able to find the end zone. That's unfortunate because I have him in fantasy. But, yeah, the Chiefs, this is not looking great. You're 5-5. I feel like you're going to have to win at maybe almost not all your games. You probably have 2 losses you're able to lose. I think 10-7 is the bare minimum to make the playoffs in the AFC. RJ Harvey going 0 of 1 passing. That's kind of funny. But Broncos, they're continuing to lead the AFC West. I had it right the first time, Zach. And, I think they're right behind the Patriots right now for the number 1 seed. And Chiefs, you're going to have to figure it out fast. And the final game that happened on Sunday Night Football, we had the Eagles in another snooze fest against the Lions, a score of 16-9. Jalen Hurts completing 50% of his passes, 14 of 28, 135 yards, only getting sacked once. Saquon Barkley, he literally tried. They kept feeding him the ball, 26 for 83, but Jalen Hurts got the only touchdown, probably on a tush push. And then receiving was led by A.J. Brown, 7 catches, 49 yards. Shot Dallas Goedert, my starting tight end. You suck. And for the Lions, Jared Goff. I keep saying this, guys. Jared Goff cannot win clutch football games. It's kind of like Sam Darnold in a way. 14 of 37. I can't even do that math in my head. That's under 50%. That might be like 45-ish percent completion percentage. Rushing, Jahmyr Gibbs, what are you doing? Get something done. David Montgomery, what are you doing? You're behind one of the better offensive lines. I know the Eagles have a good defense, but my God. Gibbs had 5 for 107 through the air. What a stupid stat. And Jameson Williams going 4 for 88 and the only touchdown on the night for the Lions. The Eagles are just continuing to win sloppy football games, reminding me a lot of the Chiefs of last year, which means they're probably going to make the Super Bowl, but they're probably going to lose in said Super Bowl. Lions, you guys got to figure it out fast. You're behind the Bears in the division right now. And that's all I have for you today. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Turn on post notifications. We're trying to upload 3 times a week on the channel, and I appreciate all the love and support. But other than that, it's been Zach. I will see you all in my next video. Peace.